Everybody, this is Jork. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about how to go about setting up a bank account in Portugal. It's not that difficult, but there are some steps to it. So today I'm going to show you how to do that. And as always, if you like the video, please click the like button and subscribe. That really helps me out if you subscribe to the channel. So here goes. I'm going to go into a couple of things of how to set it up, also why we chose the bank that we chose. And then at the end, I'm going to give you a little tip, something that's really cool that they do here in Portugal that they don't do in the US that I wish they would. So let's go into it. So there's two basic ways to set up the account, in person or online. I'm going to start with in person and what it is needed for you to be able to do that in person. So first things first, you need a passport. You need your NIF, which is your individualized tax ID number. You need proof of address, and you need proof of employment. Neither the address or the employment need to be in Portugal, but the bank, any bank you work with, is going to need to know an address to tie it to statements, tax implications, things of that nature. And they do want employment, even if you're self-employed, a check stub or some agreement with a contractor, some sort of business, they do need that if you're doing in person. Online, which is something that's relatively new, a couple of years ago when we were looking into it, they didn't have this availability, but now more banks are going with that just because of the world we're living in and the pandemic. You can do it online. The biggest but with that is the NIF, is you need to have your NIF. So if you're in the US or somewhere else and you're looking to set up a Portuguese account and you haven't been here or you've never been here or you don't have your NIF, you're not going to be able to do it online. But if you do have your NIF, you're going to be able to do a video call, either FaceTime, Zoom, Skype, somehow, where they will be able to verify you are who you are. You'll be able to submit your documents along with the information from your NIF, and you're going to be okay to be able to do it online. So that's really cool. That's something that we were not able to do when we set up our account, but it is something that probably as the world evolves will be something that will be more handy. The difficulty, though, is you got to have your NIF, and more likely than not, you're going to have to be in Portugal to be able to obtain that. So that's the only downside to doing online. You might be able to have an attorney if you obtain one, get one for you, and mail that to you to be able to set up the online account. But for the most part, it's in person, which is what we did, and we want to be able to explain to you why we chose the bank we did versus others. So just so you realize this, there are a number of national banks in Portugal, so Portuguese national banks, as well as international banks to choose from. And there are a number of things that they offer that are all the same. There are some that are a little different depending on what you're looking for in your bank. We chose Millennium BCP for a few reasons, and so here are the reasons. First, locations. So sort of when you think of real estate, location, 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 we were looking at certain properties and we wanted to make sure that we had a bank that was close by. So Millennium just happens to have a couple of branches that are close to us. So when we're using the ATM or if we need to go in for something, we wanted to make sure that we had the convenience of having something close by. Second, and very important, was that they touted that every branch would have at least someone speaking English. So until we learned Portuguese, or as we're still learning, we want to be able to communicate with someone in our native language. So it was important that we found a bank that had representatives speaking English, because not all the banks have that. So that can become a little bit of a quagmire as you're talking to someone and they don't understand you and you don't understand them. Along those same lines, they also said that their customer service reps, when you were calling on the phone, a number of them, there's an English option, so you can reach out, and many of them know English or are trained to be able to speak to you. So that's something that was also super important to us when we were making this decision. And then lastly, it's something that you may not be thinking of, but it's something I hope you do, is when you're looking at banks, is foreign transaction fees, and specific to transferring money in and out of your home account, your home country account, into your Portuguese account. So we thought that their rates were a little more competitive at the time than some of the other banks that we picked. So we decided to go with them also because of the fact that if we're sending money back to the States or transferring it from our US account to Portugal, that we felt that they were pretty competitive and didn't nickel and dime us too much on those international transaction fees. And as I mentioned to you, I give you a little tip at the end or something to think about that's a little unique from US banks, is that multi-banco, which is a system that they have in Portugal, which is so cool that whether you go with the bank that we chose or really any banking option, if you happen to go to a multi-banco ATM, the cool thing is no bank fees. So you can have a Millennium card, which is what we use, and you don't have to incur any extra fees for using a multi-banco ATM. So you'll find that with almost all of the banks here. If they're a part of the multi-banco program, you can use your card there and not get $1 or $2 fee tacked on to every transaction. So that's pretty cool and something that's unique here to Portugal that you don't get back in the United States. So that as you're looking for banking options and as you see multi-banco signs here and there, just realize that you can use that without paying any extra fees, so you don't have to look for your particular branch in order to have free ATM. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, please click subscribe if you like it. Let everybody know I'm going to be posting a ton of videos about Portugal, the how-tos of getting things going here, what it's like to live here, and then when the world opens up, I'm going to tell you about our trips and take you with us on some of our adventures. So thank you and have a great day.